When we think of engines, gasoline often takes center stage, but there's another power source with a fascinating history, the diesel engine. Today, we'll explore the story of its inventor, Rudolf Diesel, the impact his creation had on the world, and the mystery surrounding his tragic and untimely death. The story begins in 1858 with the birth of Rudolf Diesel in Paris to German parents. Diesel grew up amid industrial change, witnessing the inefficiencies of steam engines. His family moved back to Germany when Rudolf was a child, fleeing the turmoil of the Franco-Prussian War. Despite the chaos, Diesel was a brilliant student. He attended the Royal Bavarian Polytechnic of Munich, where he became fascinated with the mechanics of engines. From an early age, Diesel dreamed of creating a more efficient power source than the cumbersome steam engines of his time. He wanted an engine that could be universally accessible, something that could power small businesses and farmers, granting them independence from large energy corporations. Diesel embarked on an arduous journey of research and experimentation. After years of setbacks and frustrations in 1892, he patented the diesel engine. His design was radically different from gasoline engines, using compressed air to ignite the fuel instead of relying on spark plugs. This made diesel engines far more fuel efficient, providing greater power with less fuel. In 1897, Diesel successfully built a working engine. It was noisy, large, and somewhat unwieldy, but its efficiency was undeniable. This engine quickly gained popularity for industrial applications, such as powering factories, ships, and trains. Diesel's vision of a more accessible power source was taking shape. He believed his invention would bring about an energy revolution, providing a means for smaller industries to break free from the monopolies of large power companies. However, this notion of a more decentralized energy model clashed with the interests of big businesses, particularly those involved in oil, coal, and steam power industries. And this is where things take a turn for the mysterious. In 1913, Diesel boarded the SS Dresden, a ship bound for England. He was on his way to a meeting that was expected to secure funding for his engine's mass production. But something happened during that journey that would remain a mystery for over a century. On the night of September 29th, Diesel dined with fellow passengers, then retired to his cabin at around 10 p.m., instructing the crew to wake him at 6:15 a.m. the following morning. When the steward knocked on his door, there was no answer. His cabin was empty, the bed undisturbed, but his watch had been neatly placed on a bedside table. Diesel had disappeared. 10 days later, a decomposed body was found floating in the North Sea. Though it was too decomposed to be positively identified, Diesel's personal belongings were found on the body, leading many to conclude that it was him. But how did he end up in the water? Was it a tragic accident, a suicide, or something far more sinister? Rudolf Diesel's death has been the subject of speculation ever since. The official narrative at the time suggested suicide. Diesel had been struggling with financial difficulties and health issues. Some of his friends and family believed he may have taken his own life, weighed down by the stresses of his work and deteriorating health. His son, Eugen Diesel, even found a small black notebook in his father's personal belongings with the date of September 29, 1913, marked with an ominous X. Could this have been a clue to Diesel's intention? But then there are the conspiracy theories. Many believed Diesel's death was no accident, nor a suicide, but rather an assassination. At the time, Diesel was working on adapting his engine to run on plant oils, what we might call biofuels today. This idea threatened the emerging oil industry, which stood to lose billions if Diesel's vision of a renewable, decentralized fuel source took hold. Moreover, Diesel had been in negotiations with the British government to supply his engine designs for use in their navy, potentially giving Britain a military edge. This didn't sit well with Germany, where Diesel's engine had already been widely adopted. With tensions rising in Europe, some theorized that Diesel's disappearance was orchestrated by agents of the German Empire, seeking to keep his technology away from rival nations. Another theory points to the powerful coal and oil interests. Diesel's invention threatened the dominance of these industries. He was promoting a fuel-efficient engine at a time when the world was heavily dependent on coal-fired steam engines and the emerging oil economy. Could it be that agents of these powerful industries wanted Diesel silenced before he could revolutionize global energy? While what really happened remains shrouded in suspicion and mystery, what remains undeniable, however, is the profound impact Rudolf Diesel had on the world. His engine changed the course of industrial development and left an indelible mark on transportation, agriculture, and power generation. Rudolf Diesel's legacy is both one of innovation and mystery. His death, shrouded in speculation, only adds to the intrigue of his life's work. Despite the uncertainties surrounding his final days, Diesel's vision of an efficient, powerful engine lives on. Today, the diesel engine continues to power much of the world, from trucks and trains to ships and agricultural machinery, embodying the spirit of its inventor, a man who dreamed big and challenged the status quo. If you would like to see more bite-sized videos on complex topics, you can subscribe and hit the bell to get alerts on new videos.